Exodus chapter 8.
In the heart of Egypt, where the mighty Nile flowed like a lifeline, Pharaoh ruled with an iron grip. But on this day, something unseen loomed, an impending disaster unlike any before. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Get up early in the morning and confront Pharaoh as he goes to the river and say to him, 'Now the sun is rising, casting golden hues over the water.'" Pharaoh, adorned in fine robes, strides toward the river with his attendants. Moses and Aaron stood in his path and said, "This is what the Lord says. Let my people go so they may worship me. If you refuse, swarms of flies will overrun your land. They will cover your palaces, your officials, and every home. The ground itself will writhe beneath them. But this time I will spare the region of Goshen, where my people live. No flies will be found there. Then you will know that I am the Lord and that I am present even in the heart of your land. I will make a clear distinction between my people and your people. This miraculous sign will happen tomorrow." And the Lord did just as he had said. A thick swarm of flies filled Pharaoh's palace and the houses of his officials. The whole land of Egypt was thrown into chaos by the flies. Suddenly, a distant hum grows louder, a once lively Egyptian marketplace now shrouded in fear. A dark, thick cloud of flies swarms in the distance, the sky turning hazy as they approach. The air trembles with a low, eerie hum that grows into an unbearable buzzing. The air grew heavy, a chilling silence stretching between them. But Pharaoh, blinded by pride, scoffed at the warning. An Egyptian marketplace thrown into panic as a massive swarm of flies descends. People scream, waving their hands desperately to fend off the relentless insects. Pharaoh, his royal robes disheveled, storms into his palace, swatting furiously at the swarms of flies surrounding him. His face, usually composed and regal, is contorted in rage and frustration. Inside Pharaoh's grand but now plague-ridden palace, he stands at the center of the royal hall, his fists clenched, eyes burning with fury. Imagine being there watching these plagues unfold. What do you think was going through Pharaoh's mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? Would you have obeyed Moses or stood with Pharaoh? Let's discuss in the comments. Pharaoh sits on the edge of his ornate golden throne, his usually immaculate white linen robe now stained with dirt and sweat. His headdress is slightly askew, and his once proud expression is strained with frustration. His clenched jaw and narrowed eyes betray his desperation. Pharaoh's face contorted with frustration as he grits his teeth, mutters through clenched teeth, "All right, go, offer your sacrifices to your God, but do it here, in Egypt." Moses stands firm, his eyes calm yet unwavering. His thick gray beard moves slightly as he shakes his head in quiet defiance. His voice carries wisdom and authority as he speaks. "That would not be right, Pharaoh. Our offerings would be detestable to your people, and they would stone us." Aaron, standing beside him, nods in agreement, his expression unwavering. Pharaoh exhales sharply, throwing up a hand in exasperation. His fingers twitch as if he wishes to command Moses to stay. But he knows he cannot. He waves his hand dismissively as his voice erupts in frustration. "Fine, go into the wilderness, but don't go too far. Just pray to your God. Make this stop." The weight of defeat presses heavily on his royal form. Moses, bathed in the dim, flickering torchlight of Pharaoh's palace, gazes at the ruler with an expression of quiet authority. His deep-set eyes filled with warning. "As soon as I leave, I will pray," he says solemnly. "But Pharaoh, do not deceive us again. The words linger in the air, heavy with meaning, as Pharaoh shifts uncomfortably in his seat. A dramatic scene of Moses stepping outside Pharaoh's grand palace. The ancient Egyptian sky, once darkened by relentless swarms of flies, now begins to clear. Moses, a wise elder with a gray beard and deep-set eyes, looks upward, gripping his wooden staff. His brown robe flows slightly in the gentle wind as the buzzing sound fades. The golden sandstone streets of Egypt stretch beyond him, now eerily quiet. The last few flies drop lifelessly to the ground, leaving an air of heavy silence. A young Egyptian child stares in awe at the sky. His wide eyes reflect the sudden stillness. He whispers in disbelief, "They're gone." Behind him, other Egyptians, men, women, and children, emerge cautiously from their homes, peeking from behind doorways and market stalls, their expressions filled with hesitant relief. A sweeping view of Egypt's city streets, now still and strangely peaceful. The golden stone buildings, battered by days of infestation, look almost restored under the now clear sky. Merchants hesitantly return to their overturned stalls. The Nile River shimmers under the morning sun, its surface now undisturbed by insects. Yet the people dare to hope, if only for a moment. Pharaoh stood tall on the stone balcony of his palace. His golden robe is now pristine, his headdress straightened, but his expression is dark and rigid. His arms rest against the railing as he looks out over his kingdom, his jaw clenched in determination. The sky before him is clear, yet his gaze is stormy. His lips curl slightly as he mutters, "They will not leave. I have spoken."
Moral of the story.
This passage highlights the power of obedience and the consequences of stubbornness. Pharaoh's refusal to release the Israelites led to the plague, bringing suffering upon his people. It serves as a lesson that defying divine instructions invites hardship, while obedience brings protection and relief. Additionally, it underscores the importance of integrity, as Pharaoh repeatedly sought relief but failed to honor his word.
Thanks for watching.
If you've watched till this point, congratulations! You officially have great taste. We appreciate you. Now, don't ghost us. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and ring that notification bell like it owes you money. More awesome content coming your way.